Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of the Dr. Powell Show. I'm your host, Dr. Keisha Powell. Today we'll be talking about the silent groom and all the unseen, unheard, and emotionally marginalized issues that men face during the wedding process. We have two very important guests with us today, so please stay tuned after this commercial break. Hello, I am Dr. Keisha Powell, CEO of Powell Therapy Solutions LLC, a licensed and certified autism specialist, and a board-certified sexologist. Here at Powell Therapy Solutions, we are redefining what supports should look like for teens and adults diagnosed with autism. Powell Therapy Solutions LLC offers more than therapy. We empower lives. Our program supports social development, sexual health education, executive functioning, trauma-informed care, and sexual abuse therapy trauma. Through telehealth, family collaboration, and professional training, we make care accessible, impactful, and community-driven. Real support, real growth, real inclusion. Welcome back to the Dr. Powell Show. I'm your host, Dr. Keisha Powell. Joining us today is Miss Melanie Merkel, who happens to be a trainer for Community Voice Channel Network. She'll tell us more about herself in a few. And Miss Lorena Soto Bunker, again, who is a licensed marriage family therapist and CEO for Trauma to Thriving LLC. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Before we begin, Miss Merkel, can you please tell us a little bit about you so that the viewers can learn what you do?
Sure. So my name is Melanie Merkel. I'm the outreach trainer manager here at Community Voice Channel. I've been here for 13 years. And I love what I do. You come in here with an idea. This is your freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. So you come in here with an idea for a TV show, for anything. I mean, really anything you would like to do. And we help your vision come to life. Mm-hmm. So I started in Video Club when I was in high school. And I just loved the whole filmmaking process and just the whole behind the scenes.
Wow. And can I tell you, she is absolutely brilliant.
Well, thank you.
And Ms. Bunker, can you please introduce yourself and let everyone know what you do and some of the things that you offer in your services?
Yeah, so hi, my name is Lorena Soto Bunker, and I'm the owner and founder of Trauma to Thriving Wellness Center. And I offer alternative therapy as well as traditional therapy. So I do couples and I do families for therapy. And then we have alternative therapy, which involves yoga, dance lessons, art classes, social skills group for kids, women group, men's group, Alzheimer and dementia groups as well. Mm-hmm. So we're really trying to connect with the communities that really need it the most, that need quality services at a low cost. And so we invite everyone of all walks of life to come in, and no one gets turned away. For no reason, no one gets turned away.
I'm glad to hear that. We need more of that in in our communities. Well, today, ladies, I am super excited about this particular topic. Reason. We always talk about the bride and different things about the wedding, but we tend to forget that silent partner who is the groom. And so I wanted to talk a little bit today about, how men are sometimes marginalized in modern wedding culture and how we can explore that mental wellness tool, how we sideline the men when in the journey of saying, I do. So in traditional wedding culture, why do you think the groom's emotional needs and preferences are usually overlooked by everyone?
I think that the grooms are overlooked because society has told us that women, we're a lot needier and that the wedding is for us. Right? Usually when we talk about weddings, it's what is the bride wearing? What is the bride wearing? What does the bride want to eat? What does the bride want to go? Where is it, right? It's always usually everything about the bride. And the grooms, they just get left to stand there to just provide. They don't get to say what they want. It gets overlooked. So they get to be the silent partner already in the beginning of marriage. So if we're silent already in the beginning of marriage, that sets the tone on how the marriage is going to look.
I remembered when I used to love asking people, how did you propose to your partner? How did you propose? And I've gotten some very believe me, try it. It's the funniest thing ever. I've gotten some very interesting responses. But one of the responses I remembered hearing was, well, I just did it because, I wanted to do what was best for her. And so in that moment, I'm like, well, what was best for you? And so this is why we talk about the silent groom during the marriage process. What mental health challenges might grooms face during the wedding process that often go unrecognized?
They're depressed. They're stressed. They're thinking, can I provide? Can I fall? Am I going to fall short? I have hundreds of people coming to my wedding. I have to look a certain way. And for me, I have to make sure that as I'm married, I'm still projecting myself in a certain way. So I think that for men, not being able to share, their struggles and their kind of like their emotions, it makes it very difficult for them to be happy because it's like they're silenced, right? Like you said, the example, oh, I did it for her. But already, if you're already saying, I did it for her, there's something wrong right there. That's saying that you don't really care about yourself that much, or that you're not that you don't care about yourself that much, but you're putting her above your own needs, where we're taught that, right? That our wife comes before anybody, our husband comes before anybody. And those are true. Those are true facts. But at the same time, the groom can get shut down because of the expectation from the people that were involved in the wedding. Now he doesn't only have the expectation to his wife, now he has an expectation to the parents, to his in-laws, to friends, to cousins, right? So now the pressure was already on him to feel like a man and to feel like a provider just for the wife. Now he has to feel like that for everyone. So that's hurtful for a man that can't go then to his wife and say, this pressure is wild, this pressure is a lot, because then he may think that he looks weak in her eyes as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is powerful.
Yeah.
That is really powerful. What's your take on it with regards to, the responses with the groom and
I mean, I feel like he should be involved, I mean, I got married in 2014, but I got divorced in 2021, 2021. So we were married for almost 7 years, but we were together for 12 years before we got married. But when we got married, he was involved, in the process. I made, we made sure of it. It was the two of us. We did it all.
Did you notice any stressors on his part, like during the process when you were both planning and getting everything done?
He was stressed. Well, I'm taller. I was taller than him, so he was stressed about the height. At the I think that was the only thing, and it was like, well, I'll wear flats, and you wear your dress shoes, and they'll give you a heel, and we good. And we did. We had a beautiful wedding. It was beautiful. And he had a lot of the process. We were very lucky because we had the money at the time where we didn't have to go to our parents. So I think my journey was a little different than maybe someone else's. The fact that I'm older now, I'm divorced. If I were to get remarried, I wouldn't want big wedding. I wouldn't. I would just say, let's go to town hall, and but my now boyfriend has said to me, don't you want to dress up like a princess and do and I'm like, no. So I know the guys know too that there's that speculation that it's all you get all pretty and dolled up, but at the same time, I'm like, nah.
It's interesting you should say that, because I've also heard many women saying, I don't necessarily want that big wedding, whether they're divorced or they're single, or even mature women like myself, not necessarily wanting a big wedding, but more looking forward to the partnership. Interestingly, I also did an impromptu survey to find out how many men actually wanted a big wedding. And there were men who said, I would love to see my bride having a veil. I want that surprise. I want that element of surprise of seeing her in a wedding dress. And I found that rather interesting, because I would have thought, as you're saying that, so that reminded me of your journey, just reminded me of that a lot of men would have just preferred and would be happy with, let's just, do something and we're done. Have you both seen where men actually want something specific for their wedding day, but have never felt that their voices were heard? And I'll let you take this one, and then Melanie follow up.
I haven't ran into anyone, to be honest, that has said I didn't get what I want at my wedding, because again, their voices are more silent. When I deal with couples, men come in and they're even scared to speak and express themselves. Yes, because they know what's going to happen when they get home. Or when they get into, let's say, for instance, in therapy, when they come in and they do start saying something, then their partner may say, oh, it's not like that, or you just don't want it for me, or, oh, it's just because you can't afford it. And it starts tearing them down, and so I do see that men do want a wedding because they do want to see their bride and they do want to celebrate with their friends, and I think that if we were to talk to them a little bit deeper, they would be more involved in the weddings. And I think that the men that are more involved are the ones that have traditions. So like the Jewish tradition, they have to be involved because they have to marry a certain way and there's a performance that they have to do. So I think that in terms of that, when there's culture differences, it will also play a role on how much the partner, the groom, is going to be involved. My partner, my ex-husband, I was married for 25 years, he was very hands-off. whatever you want, thinking that it was making me happy. But what I really wanted was to him to say, no, I want you to try this. I wanted his input because I didn't want him to get at the end and being like, well, I wish we did this and this and this and that, and we didn't. So I wish that there were more men that their partners do hear them and ask them, I want you involved. I want you with me. I want you here. That's going to change even the relationship moving forward, right? As we talked, if we don't involve our partner from the day one, from the jump, it's already starting out as an imbalance.
I love this.
Good way to look at it.
Yeah. What advice would you give, like a gentleman who is getting ready to marry, a young couple who is getting ready to marry?
Give your opinion. That's all we want. We want your opinion. You know, if we ask for it, it's not because we don't want you to tell us what we want to hear. We want your valid opinion. You know. And just like Community Voice Channel, it's your freedom of speech, right? We want you to be honest.
I love that. Be honest. So viewers out there, if you are a gentleman, doesn't matter what age group you are, and you just want to be heard and you want to be able to talk more about this, please reach out to
Lorena Soto Bunker at Trauma to Thriving, LLC. And you can also email me at traumatothrivingllc@gmail.net.
And for those couples who are also getting married, Powell Therapy Solutions @gmail.com. And we'll talk more about this. If you need more information here from us at the Dr. Powell Show, please email us at powelltherapysolutions@gmail.com. Thank you again for joining us here at the Dr. Powell Show. It's such an honor to have you ladies.
Thank you.
Viewers, again, please reach out to us at powelltherapysolutions@gmail.com for the Dr. Powell Show. And thank you for joining us.
Hello, I am Dr. Keisha Powell, CEO of Powell Therapy Solutions LLC, a licensed and certified autism specialist and a board-certified sexologist. Here at Powell Therapy Solutions, we are redefining what supports should look like for teens and adults diagnosed with autism. Powell Therapy Solutions LLC offers more than therapy. We empower lives. Our program supports social development, sexual health education, executive functioning, trauma-informed care, and sexual abuse therapy trauma. Through telehealth, family collaboration, and professional training, we make care accessible, impactful, and community-driven. Real support, real growth, real inclusion.
To advertise on the Community Voice channel or to support the Community Voice channel, please go to givebutter.com/helpcvc. That's givebutter.com/helpcvc. Donate today.